Would it be too extra if if I lived there and I made like a little a bucket and with a sign, if you need to pee, please pee in this bucket to keep it clean, and then it empties out onto their shoes? Too much?
That'll be good. That'll be good.
So you guys probably all saw this katana attack.
Yes.
Yeah. Not the one that happened in London or whatever.
Oh, not that one.
No,
The one where
the
the Asian guy got like a lot of years in prison, right?
He didn't get a lot of years. I don't know if it's what happened. Is this was something that happened in October of 2020. It was a long time ago. But two Asian brothers, they caught a group of guys outside of their property in New York, and they were basically just taking a piss on the wall of the sidewalk outside of it.
Yeah.
So they're like yelling at them from inside at first to like stop doing that, and they just did it anyway. So they went outside to confront them, and then this whole like kind of fight began. It was like two Asian brothers versus I think two black dudes and three white guys. And,
There was 5 people pissing on their house?
Yeah, that's a lot of
yeah,
people.
so there's like, well, not all 5 of them were pissing, but like, but one of them was like the guy that they were yelling at to stop pissing. He even started attempting to piss on the dude when he came out.
No way.
Yeah, and then so they're all talking shit, but then it was the group of 5 dudes. They were the first in the video to like make it physical, and then the one of the Asian brothers tries to call the cops, and then it's so hard to like, the video's hard to watch because you can hear the operator just be like so slow. You know, like how now they're so slow to like, how many men, what are they wearing, what do they look like, and they're just not doing shit. So they get into like a physical altercation, and then ultimately at one point the 5 dudes walk away, and they're like on the other side, they're like kind of like down the block. But then one of the brothers goes inside and he grabs a sword, and then he comes back out and then walks over to them and then slashes one of them on the arm.
Oh shit.
And then
Like a for real, like fucking cut?
And then what happened is they the sentencing kind of just happened. So the brother with the sword, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, 3 years supervised release. The other brother got 5 years probation. The 5 dudes got absolutely no charges because they said that the court said there's no evidence of any crime on their part, which is
No assault. You should be able to piss anywhere you want.
yeah, it's kind of
And pee on another human.
Oh yeah, and pee on
But
someone else.
I think the strange part about all this is that, like, obviously if you go to like Neck Shark, you go to like things like that, they're just like, I think they're focusing on the wrong thing. They're just like, oh, he shouldn't go to jail, or he shouldn't be prosecuted, the sword brother. But it's like, when you just take away all the like racial like details of this all, like, let's figure out how the sword slash could have been justified. In the video, it's like he did it the wrong way, where like if you go after a fight that seems to have diffused itself, and then you return,
Yeah, you can't do that.
You
Just-
re-escalate.
Yeah, you're re-escalating.
But in my heart, I'm happy he did that, but like, there's got to be a better way to like do it where you don't look like you're escalating it and then you're the one going back to the fight with it, right?
Well, I could justify it because those guys told him that they're coming back to kill him.
They did. They said they're coming.
No, I made that up.
That's a good defense.
Well, they did. By the way, they did.
Your Honor, I could justify
They
it.
did hurl racial slurs. There was that.
I wonder if that's even justifiable. They're like, we're going to the car, get a gun to kill you. Oh yeah, and then I'll kill you first.
Yeah.
They did also say that they were gonna shank him. That's like in the thing. Here's a little video of it that like, this is a shorter one because the video is kind of a little bit longer. But here's like kind of how it went down.
It is a raucous brawl in Chinatown. 2 brothers getting pummeled by 5 men. A relentless beatdown. Watch as one of those brothers, John,
see how far they are
eventually
already?
grabs the katana blade and slashes one of those 5 men in the forearm. He's eventually charged with attempted murder.
We were being overwhelmed.
But in this Eyewitness News exclusive, the other brother, Maxon, said,
Bro, he walked out there with the katana loaded here.
I think
pulled
the,
it out.
I think the
Crazy.
unfair part is not so much that he's going to jail for the sword, because he did fuck up.
Yeah.
But there's clear evidence that they got jumped and they got nothing.
That's fucked up, like completely. That there's no charges.
Because after it diffuses itself, yeah, you can't come back in and re-escalate it. But then, like, let's say you delete that part where he never brought the sword out, and it just stopped at them getting jumped.
Yeah.
Then the judge is gonna rule, oh, that's fine. It's okay for 5 dudes to beat up two guys. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked
Yeah,
up.
isn't that like an assault charge?
Yeah.
Should be.
Especially
but not against us though. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's why it's weird
That's
that
true.
they don't face any disorderly conduct. They don't face any public indecency. They don't face anything at all for this.
Because
like, it's
white
kinda
people
crazy.
white people can pee wherever they want. That's
There's also a rumor going around. I don't even know if it's true or if someone just made it up that like one of those white dudes has like a diplomat father or some shit.
Probably could be true. Especially in New York.
Somebody might have just made it up, but I don't know.
the thing is, like they could have. If the brother with the katana was smart, he should have stuck his head out and go, "Hey, what'd you say?" And then they would have come back.
And then
Then you can do that.
Yeah, honestly, like if you could bait them to come back at you
Yeah.
and you're moving backwards with a sword, I
Yeah.
think you have a better shot at it.
Because you know the camera can't hear your audio. You're like, this is self-defense, baby.
Yeah.
And the other thing too for me is that clearly that brother took 0 lessons on the katana.
Yep.
Because he only slashed. In the movie, the documentaries I've seen, the arm comes off. So he's not that good.
and then the blood sprays like that.
Yeah.
Also, you know what looks bad is that he slashed him when the guy was like this. Oh. So
Yeah.
it like, I just hate that. Like I wanted that to happen, but not that way.
Yeah.
Like I wanted him to get away with it so bad.
Yeah, it's also one of those where it's like, fuck, it doesn't feel like justice like was served that day, you know?
Yeah.
Based off of like how, like you're like, dude, 2 dudes get jumped by 5, so that almost feels like someone assaulting with a weapon. So it feels like, okay, then for it to feel justified, someone's limb needs to fall off or something. Then you're like, oh, okay, cool, even Stevens, I get it. That's
Yeah, but they didn't even stab him proper.
No.
But also, like,
There was
maybe
no
it's because
death or anything.
I'd be trying to like avoid conflict. If I'm like, there's 2 of us and there's 5 of them, even though I don't want them to do something, it's like there's 2 of us and there's 5 of them. Like I don't want to like specifically walk into a place where I might get jumped.
Pick your battles.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
your
If
battles.
there's 2 of us and there's 2 of them, I'm like, okay, like let's go downstairs out of our apartment and confront this issue because we're
Yeah.
pissed off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's like 2 and 5, like you're gonna put yourself in a situation, you know what I mean, that's not, I guess, in your favor.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's also too. It's like, I feel like that whole jumping could have been avoided, right? Like,
That's what I mean. It's like, dude, it's like it sucks that they're peeing on the outside of your building, but it's like you just pick your battles.
I've seen people take shits on the street in New York all the time. I think it's pretty common.
Didn't you have a guy peeing on outside of your actual house?
Dude, yeah, he was a paleta man. He peed right in front of my house, and I was right behind him.
And this guy's a black belt, and he knows how to pick and choose his battles.
It looked like he just needed to pee, and he looked at me and was like, "Oh," and then, like, "Oh, jeez."
I kind of feel like
That's why what you should do is if this is an ongoing thing and you're tired of it, you need to get medieval and have a bucket of piss on top of the roof. And then when they're peeing there, you pull it and that they get covered in piss.
It would have been smarter for them to do, you know, they have the high ground. They should just started throwing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think the response is like when you go on social media and you read how people feel about this, they're like missing the point. It's like the point is that like
They weren't charged.
Yeah, the idea that like people are mad that like, oh, so Asian people can't stand up for themselves now.
But it wasn't
not that.
standing up as soon as they walked away. But also what's being shared is not the actual footage. Like there's hella people in the comments that are like, I saw the whole video. They were clearly in the wrong. And they're like, you gotta watch the whole video that they went back after them. They're reading a headline saying like, guy defended himself with a sword. And then they go, oh, here we go again. Asians can't defend themselves. But they don't watch the whole fucking video.
Yeah. Plus, there's a thing where like we gotta be freaking artists about how you get back at people nowadays.
real.
Like nowadays, you have to really be a fucking
You got to be covert.
yeah.
And there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucked up the moment the fight ended and you ran after them for revenge.
Like imagine there's 5 guys outside your house, right? When you confront them and you're the guy on the phone with the cops in front of 5 dudes, I just see that as I'm about to be jumped.
Yeah.
Cause it's like you can't
You're
just
not
be
alert.
like, hold on. Yeah, yeah. It's like, dude, they like you said, they pissed on your sidewalk. Getting slashed with a sword is an escalation of this moment. Like
Right.
it is true.
You should have went
As
out
much
there
as
with
I
a
love
sword.
It's like it's true. Yeah.
Go out there with a sword and start fucking swinging out like while they're pissing, cut their dick.
Or throw them a sword and make it a duel.
Now it's even.
That's what they should have done. Holy shit, he has a sword! And then they can start attacking.
Yeah.
But then his sword skills weren't that good, so I don't know that he would.
Yeah, he probably had one of those display swords too that you get in Chinatown for like $20.
That's probably
One that your
why.
parents tell you not to touch.
That's
years.
wisdom, Joe. Because otherwise, if it was a real sword, the arm would have been cut off and the blood would have
Well,
spurted.
yeah, I'm sure it wasn't a freaking, what was it? A Musashi original? A Hattori Hanzo?
Tori Hanzo, dude.
I think the clear thing though is the simple solution is they should move. Because that can't be the first time someone peed. I'm too cynical to believe it's the first time.
That's also why I think they were so aggravated. It was probably like a weekly occurrence, and like, fuck, people are pissing again. God, fucking damn.
And they're the owners. They're the owners of that building, I believe.
You should have a pee splasher or something where it splashes back at them, or like pee falls from the sky and dumps on them.
You should have a pee fall from the sky and dump on it.
Yeah.
Pee water balloons. That's always good.
Pee fall.
Let's have them on standby.
Bah, just drop some on them.
A pee hose. Just have just have a hose just ready to go, and you could spray them with it.
You know what's cool about
Sun-tea.
states with castle law though? If they're on your property and you feel like your life is threatened, you could unalive them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool states, huh?
Cool.
Yeah.
So like even if they're just peeing on your property, is that enough to be like, I'm afraid that
What's the legal word? There's a legal word that's pretty much a fancy word for spider sense. So everyone's spider sense is different, right? If you're a 5'1", 90-pound girl, your spider sense might be more sensitive than someone 6'5", 250.
Yeah, because she could think that he's trying to show his dick to her.
Yeah. So I forgot what the legal word is,
what I
but
was gonna
in the states that have the castle law, you prove your testimony is your spider sense and how you perceive the situation. So it could be someone showing up with a fucking dildo, and you can justifiably smoke them. It doesn't have to just be a gun.
Would it be too much? Would it be too extra if if I lived there and I made like a little like a bucket with a sign? If you need to pee, please pee in this bucket to keep it clean, and then it empties out onto their shoes. Too much?
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Like so, you could make like all these little things so they wouldn't know, and then when they pee in it, they have to put their feet under the thing, and then it just goes in their shoes.
Oh man, what the fuck?
This is what you're looking for, Ryan? You gotta be artsy on your revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good. That's a good start.
Because if you're drunk, you may not even know that your shoes are covered in pee because you're so drunk, and then when you go home, why does it smell like pee in my house? And then white people walk with their shoes inside their house.
Yeah.
Got him.
Right?
Is that why all Chinatowns all across the world smells like incense and pee?
And cat shit too.
I know.
That's one of the sentiments that gets brought up is that like, oh, so like that means Asian people are allowed, they just have to deal with it when someone's like allowed to piss on their.
No, just be smarter on how you regulate your city.
But to be fair, y'all ain't never seen a Chinese dude pee on the fucking sidewalk. Like that's common too. Like everybody does this shit. But the point is that like the revenge part or the retaliation has to be fucking tight.
It's not self-defense anymore.
You
Once
gotta
they walk
be
away.
smart with that shit, man. It can't be a fucking visible like chase with a sword. You just can't.
I had to shit in my backyard last week.
See, it happens to all of us.
What? What do you mean?
do we want to know the story as to why?
No, I'll tell you later.
Why are you?